As you guys can see, we are getting more than 100 FPS while emulating Pokemon Sword on Skyline Infinity. Yo, what's up guys, it's ApTreX here. Today in this video, we'll be finally finding out how well does Pokemon Sword work on the Skyline Infinity emulator, which is the forked version of both Strato emulator as well as the old Skyline Edge emulator. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys the best settings as well as gameplay, so let's get started. First of all, I haven't added any kind of firmware in this emulator. Also, it is the latest Skyline Infinity emulator version. Make sure to disable dock mode. If you don't disable dock mode, then you will get crashing issues in Pokemon Sword, so that's a must. If you enable dock mode and try to play Pokemon Sword, unlike other emulators, this emulator will indeed crash. So do make sure that dock mode has been disabled. API set it to Vulcan because other APIs will again cause your game to crash. Show performance statistics has been enabled. Device aspect ratio is stretched to fit. GPU driver configuration, this is another important factor. Make sure to use the latest Mesa Turnip Adreno driver. The one which I am using is the version 7 revision, supporting both Adreno 6 series as well as 7 series GPUs. Disable frame throttling, also make sure to enable this option to get over 30 FPS. Executor slot count scale, you can set it all the way up to 12. Executor flush threshold, you can set it all the way up to 256. Make sure to disable use direct memory import option or else you will again get crashing issues. Enable force maximum GPU clocks and free cache texture memory. So with these options enabled, your game will be stable. Enable fast GPU readback and writes, also 60 FPS. With that being said, we are almost all done with the best settings for Pokemon Sword. Vulkan validation layer has been disabled. Just go ahead and open Pokemon Sword as usual, no matter if you start a new game or use and save file. In my opinion, I would recommend you guys to use and save file. That would be beneficial if you just want to explore the game, but if you guys want to play the storyline, then you will encounter some freezing, crashing issues which will be quite literally very annoying. As you guys can see at the top left corner, we are able to get almost 90 to 100 FPS while emulating Pokemon Sword on the latest Skyline Infinity emulator. Now the game is running so fast that I am unable to choose my correct options. Funnily enough, if you are getting more than 60 FPS, that's when you know that it is completely unplayable experience because the audio is so fast and we are even crossing 200 FPS at some points. In main menus we are getting more than 200 FPS, which is so crazy, bro. I can't believe that. Just 2 years ago we used to barely get 60 FPS in 3D simulation, but now we are getting more than 60 FPS while emulating Nintendo Switch titles. Well, dock mode has been disabled, so we might be getting some more FPS, but that is to be expected because the device which I am using is 1+ 11 Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor and 16GB of RAM. But I can assure you guys that even if you have a Snapdragon 888 processor, you will indeed get about 60 FPS while emulating Pokemon Sword. So what about low-end devices, you might ask? Well, for low-end devices you need at least Snapdragon 695 processor or above, or even 680 processor will work, but you will face some lagging issues. That is to be expected no matter what emulator you use. Except for Yuzu emulator. In Yuzu the game will just crash. But the greatest part about Skyline emulator is its compatibility. It supports low-end device all the way up to Snapdragon 450 processors. Well, you can't really play Pokemon Sword with such processor, but you can indeed expect Snapdragon 680 or above devices be able to run this game without any problems. Some crashing issues will be always there because Skyline is an incomplete emulator, and I'm really waiting for the Strato emulator Android. Hopefully it is released pretty soon. We were expecting it to release from anywhere in September to October, but that hasn't happened. But we are indeed seeing some brand new gameplays of Strato emulator every single week or so, which is really hyping me up for the future of Strato emulator. It also does have some graphical issues and performance issues, but it is a journey, guys. That's why we are here, to experience the brand new updates, to check out the new features and much more, to get hyped whenever there is a brand new update. That's what brings us closer on this YouTube channel. So if you guys are new here, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, turn on all notification as I upload similar emulation news or gameplay videos or even tutorials on my channel. So if you guys are subscribed, then you already know I have been uploading emulation content since the past few years, and this has to be one of the best gameplays which I have ever filmed because the performance is just so amazing. But there are indeed some graphical issues which cannot be fixed. As you see right here, there is some visible like duplication texture glitch or something like that. It cannot unfortunately be fixed. So if you want to fix it, you will need to use the Yuzu emulator or Against emulator Android. If this video reaches 200 likes, I'll upload the Against emulator Android gameplay of Pokemon Sword. So be sure to hit that like button. That's going to be it for today's video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Peace out.